What's going on, everybody?
I'm Nutty.
I'm Abby.
And we are starting our seeds. So first up, we're going to be growing this one. This is the Iringium.
That's what we're gonna do. Come hang out with us, spend some time with us. I'll be, starting some seeds. Here's Ava in the back. Hi, Ava. Ava, come here, baby. Come say hi. Come say hi.
Good girl. Come on, Eva. Come on, good girl.
Ava loves to start seeds. We're gonna be starting some seeds, but first, let's make sure that this mixture is moist. Come say hi. Say hi. Hi. It's finally going through. So yeah, we're making sure we keep this, start these off pretty moist. Let's go through what we'll be planting tonight. Hey, Ava.
Eva, you want to pick?
You want to pick?
All right. What do you want to start with? Let's see what we got.
I think I love this.
What's going on, everybody?
Iringium
Hey,
blue
people.
cap.
Wonderful. You want to show them what the seed
It's a
looks
pretty,
like?
pretty flower, aka a sea holly.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be planting this one.
Here's
We
some
got
more.
these seeds, started them off in the yard, and now we have our own seeds that we'll be planting and replacing with these seeds.
Cool.
I think that's such a big part of, growing. Like we have to buy some seeds that are sometimes on the pricier side, and it's just good to be able to grow them. And let me see if I can. Oh no, I can't use that.
I'm going to just make a label for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I can't use this.
Nice.
And then we can't. This seems to be the one way.
So I wonder if anyone is winter sowing seeds. Anybody winter sow seeds this week?
Or have already, and we're just.
What did you
late.
winter sow? Do you want to do an overview of winter sowing for anybody who may be new to the concept?
You can do that. That's a good idea. You're a good explainer.
So for those of you who have not yet tried this, winter sowing is a frequent or a common way of sowing up your native plants, especially. It has special advantages for plants that want stratification, which means the seed wants to be exposed to cold weather for a period of time before it will germinate. This is a self-protective mechanism so that the seed doesn't germinate in the fall and then die because it's too cold. And so we are going to be putting some mostly native plant seeds in this soil and then putting the soil directly outside out into the cold February weather. And the seeds will kind of experience natural life outdoors as their wild counterparts do, and they will pop up when they're ready. And many of them will benefit from that period of cold because it lets them know that it's winter. And then when they feel the warmth after the period of cold, they know it's spring, and then the seeds know it's safe to germinate, and they will survive and thrive for hopefully many generations to come. So we're going to be winter sowing some of our favorite native plants, mostly, also some other stuff. Some of them are seeds that we've saved from our own garden last year. Some of them are seeds that we bought. So we're starting with this Iringium blue cap, which we saved our own seeds. And they're really spiky, and I actually just poked myself in the finger with them.
Oh gosh, they're very spiky.
Should I make a
Overheads.
label for the container?
Yeah, probably a good label too, cause
It's gonna stay with it for a long time outside, come wind, come rain, come shine.
we are going to put them in a transparent enclosure.
Like a
Like a
this
cold
plastic
frame?
container. It's similar to a cold frame, although we're repurposing some stuff that we got for free on Craigslist, which are like those clear plastic storage bins, like with an opaque lid. And we actually turn it upside down, use the lid as essentially the tray, and then have the clear storage bin over top as, yeah, almost like a cold frame or something to give it a greenhouse effect.
Yep.
So look on Craigslist for any things that you can creatively use to create a nice, comfortable environment for your seeds to come up easily.
Should I use some of the old, just finish the old seeds?
That sounds great.
For a lot of these seeds, they need light to germinate. So you surface sow and kind of press them into the surface of the soil instead of like putting it, covering the seeds. So this is one such seed that you have to surface sow.
So who's winter sowing your native plants? I'm curious what zone people are tapping in from, what planting zone you live in or what region you are growing in, and what kind of native plants that you're sowing
Or
in your
if
area.
you grow at all.
Or if there are native plants that you like. If there's stuff you want to see us grow, we'll let you know if we're going to grow it or not. This is like such a weird spiky plant that, you know, to a human might look really unfriendly, and it definitely can slice you up. But amazingly, it also supports pollinators.
Yeah,
Even though it
they
looks
love
unfriendly
it.
to us.
Yeah, they love this one, and it's really shade intolerant. So it wants to be in the sun.
Yeah.
So don't make that mistake like we did.
Yeah, it will get its best like silvery blue color, which adds such a nice shade to the garden, something that you don't really have naturally occurring in very many of your other plants. Certainly not the entire stalk or like seed head, like with the Eryngium blue cap.
First one down.
You want to show them? Maybe
Let
too
them-
wet.
It's really wet
It's
because,
too healthy of an environment over here.
and I cracked it a little bit so it doesn't get anaerobic in there.
Yeah, you want to make sure you have some good airflow. We got the
Okay,
holes in the lid,
holes in the lid,
Holes in the bottom.
and
air's
it's
flowing through.
Yeah, air's flowing through. It's gonna sit outside and germinate. What's next?
I don't know, what do you want to do next? We have this lupin, which is kind of cool. This is a desert lupin, but it's from a really cool seed company called Native Seed Search. They are in the Southwest. They are Native Seed Search right here. Definitely go look them up, support their stuff. Even though we live over here in the Northeast Woodlands area, it is becoming advantageous to us to grow these like drought tolerant plants. So Native Seed Search is a seed company that was started by and with indigenous people in the Southwest region, and also with some people who are doing work to save not only food crops that are native to North America, but also the wild ancestors of these food crops. So they, a lot of research has been done that basically shows that preserving the wild ancestors of food crops in these wild spaces, forests, whatever, is very important because the wild ancestors of our food crops will still intermix with their descendants. So the wild sunflower can mix with the cultivated sunflower. Wild beans or cucurbits, you know, squashes and gourds can mix. And genes have been found in the wild relatives of our food plants that especially increase their disease resistance. In the wild sunflowers, specifically Hyalanthus exilis, they were able to find a gene that actually had like a lower cholesterol, like oil, basically lower cholesterol in the sunflower oil, higher of the high density lipoproteins, lower in the low density lipoproteins, making our sunflower oil healthier and just improving like the food crop that people eat. And so that's why it's so important to have preserve our wilderness spaces so that we preserve these wild ancestors of the crops. And so anyway, this is just a portrait into the work that Native Seed Search is doing. So definitely check out, again, Native Seed Search, super cool organization. And again, even though we live in a really different region than the Southwest and we're not really in the desert, you know, last summer we had an unprecedented heat wave for like, you know, over a month, all of July and into August. And our plants were definitely suffering. And so it's going to be advantageous to us to have these seeds that have been bred over many, many, many plant generations to become hardy to drought and desert-like conditions. So incredible work is being done by these people, Native Seed Search. Check them out. And this is the Arroyo lupin.
Nice.
One of the largest of the annual lupins. You want to try it?
Yeah, we can try it. Let's read how to prepare the seed. Rake seeds into half-inch. Cool.
We could also do this one later if you want to prioritize some other stuff. We have.
No, we can do this one. I can put these ones in cells. I don't need to, because it doesn't need cold stratification.
How about the purple bleeding heart? This one is a little different since we already have had it stratifying in the soil. Should I get a different container?
Yeah, get a different
All right, I'll get a
container.
different
Put
container
those
for
in
this.
there.
Here, you want black eyed Susan?
I was thinking, yeah, I'm gonna do black eyed Susan. I'm gonna do the next Eryngium Yucifolium. Eryngium Yucifolium, aka rattlesnake master. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh, what an amazing plant!
And these seeds are ones that we harvested from ours outside. This is a blue cap. I can put this back. The seed heads are similar to the other Eryngium, which meaning they're kind of spiky. They have that spiky, rounded seed head, and the seeds look pretty similar as well. This is another Eryngium. This one is native to our region, rattlesnake master. The flowers are in this balls. They're white, just real tiny flowers. But I think the architecture of the flower is like more spectacular than the flower itself. So,
You have any fun facts about rattlesnake master?
no, but I'm sure you do. This was like the first shoe.
That was the oldest shoe found in an archaeological site in North America.
The oldest shoe found in an archaeological site here in North America was made of rattlesnake master.
The leaves.
The leaves, and they're pretty hardy, tough leaves. I think they stay kind of semi-evergreen because they're semi-evergreen now, and they've had weeks of snow laying on top of them. I think it's just a pretty plant. We want to expand the mass that we have out front to make more of a statement. So that's what we're doing. We're seeding up some more. And this one grew in the yard, experienced or climate, or soil, or everything, us. And it chose to give us mature seeds. So we're just doing our ecological function of carrying those seeds on. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. Rattlesnake master. Does this one get covered? I have no idea. You know, we don't have the old seed packet, so I don't remember if this one is just surface sown, but a lot of our native seeds are surface sown due to the nature of how they seed themselves. So it should be fine. I have some water here, filtered water, that I just spray them at the top so the seeds don't shift as we move them around. Stays one place. Put a cover on top. Put a cover on top, label, and then we'll be good to go. In spring, it'll come up on its own. It'll be ready for us to grab it and put it in. Yeah, and we don't need a lot of the rattlesnake masters, but if we do get a lot, we'll give it to our friends and we'll just expand the range.
So these are seeds that we've had stratifying in our fridge. It's purple bleeding heart. And since they've already been stratifying in a little bit of soil mixed with sand, we're just going to pour this on top of like a prepared wet soil. And put that one straight outside. This one, I don't think I'll even put a lid on it. I'll just put it outside like this in the
Yeah,
greenhouse.
I didn't know. No, you don't, you know.
I'm going to take anything else out right now. I'm going to make a trip outside.
Yeah, you can carry them. The rattlesnake master and the Iridium. They are cousins.
Yeah.
Oh, let's get wet up.
After all. Uh-oh.
The seed pack. So here we have a seed mix that our lovely friend Foster, who is a farmer, shout out to Foster, gave us the Southeast native plant mix and seeds mix, and we're going to sow them up. It has a lot of different types of seeds. I can see here it has a few salvias, a few types of locks. It has black-eyed Susans. It has Monarda.
Pollinator's fave.
It has lupins. It has Eryngium yuccifolia, which is the rattlesnake master. It has different types of coreopsis, stick seed, lance leaf coreopsis. There are quite a few plants in there. Galliardia. That's what I want out of this actually. And it also has milkweeds. So it has at least 16 different types of seeds in here. So we're just gonna plant them out.
All right. Say goodbye to the Eryngiums and the bleeding heart.
Bye, Eryngium. Bye, bleeding heart. Yeah, I'm just gonna sow this all because it's not a lot. You understand? And in the spring we can just Southeast mix Bar Hill. We haven't bought any seeds from this company. I have no idea who they are, but they seem pretty cool. They have some cool seeds here. Wagwan people. This year we have a lot of stuff for the annual garden. A lot of plans, a lot of changes for our annual garden. Follow us, like our content if it is that you would like to see how that matures and how the garden matures over the next few months.
Okay, so calling all gardeners, we want to know where y'all are tuned in from.
I think
What region do you live in? What kind of plants grow there? Do you grow plants there? I wonder if any of these plants like rattlesnake master or bleeding heart are familiar to you, or if they grow in the region where you are. So calling all gardeners and plant people, let us know where you're at. Drop it in the chat.
And what if they aren't plant people? Because you know it's TikTok. It just whoever is in our algorithm.
Yeah, what interests you about this? I'm
Right?
curious to know. Here's some other beautiful seeds I think we'll sow today. Here's some other also from Native Seed Search. The Arizona poppy. Drought tolerant plants that will become increasingly useful as our climate, goes all over the place. Victory Seeds. This is another good one. A more basic envelope, but great company.
Sometimes basics. All right.
Yeah, basic is good. Okay. This is a pitcher plant mix, so I'm gonna go fill up another container for the moment.
All right. So we have a rattlesnake master. I do think we should take these out and process the seeds.
Okay.
And I need to stress more that it's as important as growing food for ourselves. Growing these plants, like it's pretty much a foundation plantings, to even your annual garden. Planting these essential pollinator magnets and essential pollinator food and predator insects food is crucial to having a healthy and productive garden. So don't skip the steps. They're slow, they take long to bloom, They take long to like fully establish themselves. They're not like annual plants and flowers that are just gonna come and show out. These have evolved to be around for a long time, but there's no rush. So they do the work. I mean, when we first put in some of these native plants, you know, the garden looked so tiny, and you know, I felt like ugly, you know. And now I can't wait for spring because they're getting so big, and it's now become like a statement, like I'm here and I'm here to stay type of thing, and that's great. So as much as we love to grow our annual veggies and peppers and all the good stuff, ginger, turmeric, the herbs, everything that we love and are happy to have in our as a part of our garden, it's not the primary focus. All that else is a bonus. We're trying to put back the foundation plants, the plants that are critical for our food system and for our ecosystem, and have those plants do the heavy lifting to attract the beneficial insects, to provide habitat, to provide food for migratory birds, to be a host for caterpillars. We're just trying to create a space where life is abundant, and it's not a scarcity. Pollinators are not a scarcity, and so is food. So I mean, it is as critical to growing food as planting, you know, the food crops itself. And while we have started some of our stuff like that, you have to start pretty early. We're trying to make sure we cover the bases, because we have noticed when we just moved here, the first year we moved mid-season in summer, so we had container plants that we moved with, and there's actually nothing to pollinate our stuff, because people are using pesticides around us, all around us, and there were no insects. The second year we started seeing stuff, and last year was actually very incredible. Like all through the day I could go there and see tons of insects, and that's what we want to do, is to continue to, you know, build upon that. So we're trying for the plants that we do have already out in the yard, we're trying to expand them, and for other things that more varieties of stuff that we need, more plants that are endangered that should be in the ground, we're adding them. And so that's what we do for most of winter, for most of the dormant season, is to source these plants, get the seeds, start them, and put them in the ground, get the bare roots, put them in the ground in anticipation for spring, and just focusing on making sure that we have food and shelter for us and wildlife from spring to winter again.
Like a chopstick or something you can kind of poke it out with?
Yeah, man, try to get it out now so we can just process the seeds and send it back. Yeah, hang out with Ava.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, idiot. You can. Look.
Tell them what you're doing.
It's still loading. I'm gonna process the seeds. I think I need to stress more that you know, it's as important as growing food for ourselves. growing these plants. Like it's pretty much a foundation planting to even your annual garden. Planting these essential pollinator magnets and essential pollinator food and predator insects food is crucial to having a healthy and productive garden. So don't skip the steps. They're slow, they take long to bloom. They take long to like fully establish themselves. They're not like annual plants and flowers that are just gonna come and show out. These have evolved to be around for a long time, but there's no rush. So they do the work. I mean, when we first put in some of these native plants, the garden looked so tiny and I felt like ugly. And now I can't wait for spring because they're getting so big and it's now become like a statement, like I'm here and I'm here to stay type of thing. And that's great. So as much as we love to grow our annual veggies and peppers and all the good stuff, ginger, turmeric, the herbs, everything that we love and are happy to have in our as a part of our garden, it's not the primary focus. All that else is a bonus. We're trying to put back the foundation plants, the plants that are critical for our food system and for our ecosystem, and have those plants do the heavy lifting to attract the beneficial insects, to provide habitat, to provide food for migratory birds, to be a host for caterpillars. We're just trying to create a space where life is abundant and it's not a scarcity. Pollinators are not a scarcity, and so is food. So I mean, it is as critical to growing food as planting, the food crops itself. And while we have started some of our stuff like that, you have to start pretty early. We're trying to make sure we cover the bases, because we have noticed when we just moved here, the first year we moved mid-season in summer, so we had container plants that we moved with, and there's actually nothing to pollinate our stuff, because people are using pesticides around us, all around us, and there were no insects. The second year we started seeing stuff, and last year was actually very incredible. Like all through the day I could go there and see tons of insects, and that's what we want to do, is to continue to build upon that. So we're trying for the plants that we do have already out in the yard, we're trying to expand them, and for other things that more varieties of stuff that we need, more plants that are endangered that should be in the ground, we're adding them. And so that's what we do for most of winter, for most of the dormant season, is to source these plants, get the seeds, start them, and put them in the ground, get the bare roots, put them in the ground in anticipation for spring, and just focusing on making sure that we have food and shelter for us and wildlife from spring to winter. Again, you put the work in, and it reacts sometimes immediately, and that's a great thing. And when it doesn't, it's also a great thing, because great things come with time, and that's fine. I mean, the instantaneous gratification of having a garden fresh from Home Depot, that's fine for a momentary, but it goes. And there's nothing like planting your stuff and ushering it into the world and spreading the seeds and giving some to your friends and family. Nothing beats that. Alright, so this rattlesnake monster is done processing. Next up, oh, did you bring stuff for the other?
Yeah, hang on. For the pitcher plant?
For the pitcher plant?
Yeah, hang on one sec. I'll grab that.
Abby's going to plant some pitcher plant that we've had in the fridge certifying. This is Rattlesnake Master. Master 24 seeds. I don't know which seed is that. Alright, I'm going to plant some black-eyed Susans. You want some of that?
Sounds great.
And black-eyed Susans, I mean, it's all over the place, but it's such a long bloomer that it just makes sense.
And it's common, but it's not unappreciated by the pollinators. So.
No, like the pollinators definitely wish we had more. It's never. So definitely adding some more.
Lonely. Black-eyed Susan is never lonely.
Black-eyed Susan to the garden. Yeah, I feel like this page isn't like the best page for a beginner gardener.
But we want to make it more accessible to everybody.
We want to make sure it's more accessible to everyone and
ask questions.
Yeah, so ask questions because it's kind of hard to know where people are and to just make content for people that are at the beginner stage. Reparations are still unpaid.
Period.
Black-eyed Susans. What am I doing? Oh. And this is another one where we're going to create a mass planting. So we have a few up the front in the front of the yard already, but we want to make sure it's like, you know, really pulling in pollinators as they pass by. Let's see what else you want to plant. You see the balloon flower. I've never seen this. I'm not recommending this brand, but we bought it a couple years ago, and I guess it's time to just plant it. It says so in place. And a long season to bloom.
It's for the pitcher plant.
Hmm? That's for the pitcher plant? Alright, we'll leave it. And we want our pitcher plant. Yeah, that too has been here for a while.
Did I see what?
Hmm?
What did you say?
The pitcher plant.
Let's try to find her. Oh, wow.
This one look like it. Lovely. Pink basket flower. Pink basket flower. Pink basket flower. Some perennials and native wildflowers that just do the heavy lifting of attracting a lot of beneficial insects to our yard. And when we just moved here, it was very hard to do. and annual plants generally can't satisfy the holistic needs of these beneficial insects. So it's just trying to put the things in that they rely on and having their source of food and for their young. It's just something that we have to do in order to keep this ecosystem going in a way that it's healthy for us and what we're doing. All right, so we have the pitcher plant, which is a carnivorous plant, right?
Oh yeah.
And
help
it's
out those
native
beneficial
to this
insects.
region as well, and it's gonna bring in what do you say?
It's gonna eat insects.
It's gonna eat bad ones. Well, they might eat good ones too, but hey, when you have a healthy ecosystem, there's abundance and lots to go around for all. No, it's not too late to start your onions. Start your onions. They're awesome. Also, too, you have perennial onions that you can have, so that you don't really have to worry about planting onions. Perennial onions. I love Egyptian walking onions. They're awesome to use. And to the green part, it can get pretty tough, so it's not like as soft and as malleable as a spring onion or bunching onions. But the Egyptian walking onion is pretty cool, and it comes back year after year, walks all around your garden, and then you can use it for cooking. So I think that's a great option as well. Tori, add that to your repertoire if you do not already. Add some Egyptian walking onion bulbs in your yard. Allow it to walk around and flower and be beautiful and functional in your space. All right, pitcher plant. All right. What's next? What's next? What's next? Ooh. Yeah, I'm gonna plant some of this rose mallow, crimson eye. I think my neighbor has some walking on. Oh no, that's kind of sad. What do the cats do with them? Like, they poop around it. You know, that's when you should get like a raised bed and, you know, protect your stuff. Because, you know, critters can be unconscionable. Yeah. They do not care. So I have some crimsonite swamp mallows here. And honestly, I don't know if I'm going to be processing all these seeds. Let's see. I hope they come up. Crimsonite swamp mallow. I'm gonna plant some of the crimsonite swamp mallow.
Oh yay, beautiful. I love that.
Yep, that one is a plant for wet spots. A great shrub for your rain garden. Another nice plant to add to your yard in a danky spot. I think my neighbor has some walking onions in their yard, but you won't touch them because of cat. Yeah, and laying in on it. No man, these cat, no, them cats. No. Cats are laying down and walking onions.
That's hilarious.
That is hilarious. I mean, that's a good life. Get another patch and keep them from it. I mean, you can take the bulblets, plant them, and then yours don't have them in their yard. So all that fresh new growth would be, you know,
Good.
cat free and yours. So rescue them.
Encourage them to walk farther. Put the human hand in nature's process.
Design.
Do you want me to take some stuff out?
Yes, please.
All right. These three?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm just going to take the tray and bring it back to you.
Yeah. Someone lives close by.
Amazing.
Yeah. Oh, you go past. If the camera was turned around, it would be so funny.
I wish it was.
Oi. So, I think there's more stuff to winter sow, but can we take a break, man?
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, they have a nice big tray here. Did you already do the wildflower mix?
Hmm?
Did you already do the wildflower mix?
Yeah.
Oh.
But we can't use this for
It's a
something
big tray
else.
for a mix, yeah.
Use this for something else. So this is another great container for winter sowing. Yes, people, so we just wanted to come in and say hi. I struggle with keeping doing content at this time of year because we just don't have the time. So I'm off work. What do you put the flowers outside? When do you put the flowers outside? What flowers? The seeds that we just planted or in general? If it's the ones that we just planted, they're going outside in a cold frame or in a greenhouse, and they're just winter sown. They'll just come up on their own. Yeah, so the ones we just did, they're going outside. They're gonna stay there. In a like, we're creating like a greenhouse effect with these containers, and they'll come up on their own. And in the spring, oops, thank you.
You're welcome.
There's water in this tray. And in spring they'll be up. They probably come way before spring though.
Yeah, whenever they feel ready.
Whenever they feel ready, they'll come up, and we can separate them when they're small into and pot them up, or we can just let it grow big and separate them when we're transplanting them out, which is most likely what we do because we have no time. Yeah, but it's a struggle at this time of year to create content because it's just like so much moving parts, and then just doing that, planting so much of what we do we grow from seed or cutting. So this time of year is like the busiest time of year for us, and getting stuff off the ground is just kind of taxing. But one of the things that we like to do every year is to like map out what we want to do. This is kind of hard to see, but this is our front yard. This is like native food forest, like shrub hedging. Tons of plants, tons of different biodiversity there. These were annual beds that we're converting, and this is a shade garden bed, and this is another bed down here with ferns and other shade tolerant plants, and up here is our fig guild. So just seeing where we have gaps, trying to fill them out, and as we fill them out outside, we fill them out on the paper so that we know where our garden is at, what we're adding into it, and how it will evolve. Like a lot of these plants are forbs, so they die back in winter. They don't have an above ground part
Describe
visible.
a forb.
A forb is a flowering plant. That's what I'm doing. It's like it dies back. It's a flowering plant, that herbaceous plant that dies back fully in winter. And so when you go there, you don't know where stuff are. The roots are in the ground, but there's nothing to see up top. So just flagging where stuff are so that we can continue to build that out and know what we have in ground. So we're continuing on the task, bringing lots of biodiversity to the yard, and the more we do that, the more we build out our food forest and our forest garden, the less pressed we are about the animals, because they will come, and that's at this point is the easiest part of the work we do. Yeah, Tori, definitely it's a main part of what we do, and that's why we're called the Yarrow City. We're trying to bring back the plants that was here, and that are site specific, and we're on the Anacostia watershed, so we are very aware of that and aware of what we're putting in the ground and making sure that they have multiple functions, not only for ourselves and our permaculture design, but also for wildlife in general. There are a lot of things that are far more important than just producing food, and I think that's kind of why we like to share the page and share what we do, because it's not about telling people step by step, this is how you do our garden. It's about like creating a different approach to gardening, the ecosystems, advancement, and sustainability over self. And I do think it's also selfish, because when you do take care of the ecosystem, it takes care of you.
Not to mention, maybe it's our purpose as human beings.
It is our ecological function as human beings, as well as Abby just described to us. So that's what we do here. Don't get me wrong, we love to grow food and we'll grow tons of it. But I feel like, you know, there's so much we can do other than that. And I think too, with the critters that are around, I think with the stuff that we plant and how we design the space and the different types of fruit producing or berry producing shrubs, ground covers, herbaceous plants, woody plants, trees, just a lot of abundance. I think that is a way for us to not only feed us ourselves, but it also gives the wildlife some things to choose, you know. I think
they choose their native plants.
Yeah, and they love to choose their native plants. They want the stuff, and I think when we plant the blackberries and we plant these things, they love that because it's been there feeding them. But you add a service berry, add different type of berries or bearberry.
Think about the beautyberry versus the red raspberry. The birds like the red raspberry, but the beautyberry they like that.
Yeah. So Abby was just talking about like the red or raspberries. Yeah, they go for the red raspberry every day. But when the beautyberry was ready, it did not linger. When the raspberries will linger, that did not linger. And I feel like, yeah, they're indicating to us that plant the things that we need as well, not just the things that you want, or else I'm gonna take it. Yes, Tori, I made my own seed starting mix. You should follow us on YT. We have a video up on how we start our seed starting mix, how we make it. It's up there on live, and it's also on the page, I think, what we do. And we talked about how we make a sterile mix, and for the plants that we grow inside, we use a soil-less mix. We do not want to add any compost or anything like that, because we do not want any fungal growth, any bacteria spreading indoors, and that will be devastating. So yeah, we do have a seed soil starting mix that's on our YT, and it's also here on YouTube, on TikTok. So check that out. It's informative. It's kind of give you a rundown of what we do and how we do it and what our setup looks like, if that will help you. Yeah, so you're in Hyattsville, you're in Maryland. you're like, this is a good page for you to follow to see where we're at different times in the year, and to see the plants that are from your area that you can add, and vice versa. I can see what you have and I can add as well. So the crimsonite swamp mallow, this one's usually growing close to streams, close to a creek. This one, let me see. It can grow up to like 7 feet tall. Between 5 to 7 feet tall, and like 4 to 5 feet wide. It's beautiful. Pollinators are on it all, as long as it's flowering. And it's just used to like a wet, boggy soil, so soil that has not as much oxygen as it should. That plant will thrive there. Yeah. What else we have here? We have some Joe Pye weed. We have that already. Oh, mega plant this. The Lobelia tupa.
Oh, nice.
Arizona poppy. I only put things on plant, man.
Yeah, we gotta get some of those the other flowers in.
Which one you want me to You want me to plant the Rocky Mountain Bee? Or the poppies? The two type of poppies?
I don't know, the poppies bloom early, so that might be a good one to get started.
It's on your desert marigold. Arizona poppy. And I do that.
That sounds good.
Arizona poppies. I will put you on if you have not been purchasing seeds from this company. You should do that now. Screenshot.
Native seed search, say it out loud.
Native seed search.
That's right.
Alright. So this flower is native to Western US. There are some plants that are native to Western US that are invasive here, so do your research before you buy or add anything. First of all, do your research if you're adding anything at all. Know what's aggressive, know what's invasive, know what, you know what, princess, I need to leave this to soak up some more.
That sounds good, yeah.
Yeah, know what's out there, and don't shy away from deep knowledge. Don't shy away from learning more and doing more and adding more biodiversity, not only your diet but to your yard or ecosystem or your neighbor's yard or wherever you can add something. So yeah, I think that's it for us. Thanks for hanging out with us. We got a lot of stuff, like 8 stuff, right?
At least.
At least about 8.
So let's see, we have the pitcher plants.
Pitcher plant.
Purple bleeding heart.
Purple bleeding heart.
The seed mix.
A seed mix.
The Eryngium blue cap.
Eryngium.
Eryngium yucifolium.
Eryngium yucifolium. This swamp mallow.
Great. Yeah. Pretty good. You can show them some of the cool seeds if you wanna.
Which ones?
You know
Like
the licorice is pretty cool.
Licorice seeds.
Look how like the one seed pod looks. It's like, oh gosh.
See, we don't have a nice camera.
Yeah. There we go. Oh. Hard to
Right?
focus on.
No, Tori, thank you so much for that, because I was feeling, yeah, it's a good place to start. And I mean, it starts with the intention, huh? It definitely starts with intention. But I'm excited for your garden. I'm excited that your Tori started their garden last year. And I was telling them that one of the nicest things about recently starting gardening is that you learn from all the old gardeners who've locked it into their way of doing things, and make a lot of mistakes. Just pay attention.
That's true. And also think how much more you know this year than last year before you even started. Think how much even just after 1 year of growing plants and living and familiarizing yourself with them day after day, how much more prepared you feel. It is exponential every year. So this is the beginning of a great journey.
Congrats, Tori. You're doing an awesome job. If we all could get the resources, get everything in line so that we could carry out more of our ecological function as humans, we'd be in a far better place.
But start with what you got.
Yeah, but start with what you got.
Start with 1 plant or 5 plants.
Yeah, I always talk about this story, and this will be the last thing I want to say about this is I had to spend a lot of time watching people grow stuff before I actually got the chance to grow anything, and it really helped me a lot because I could see how different people did the same thing, and I just started mapping the stuff, mapping the inconsistencies, and just thinking about things that way, and imagining how I would do a garden or how I would plant up a planter box if I had the stuff, if I got a chance, and just using my creative imagination when watching people grow or hearing people grow or seeing the things that they grow really helped me to curate a design mindset in when doing plants. It's I know how I want it to be, and I know where I can compromise. I know where I can be no, we have to definitely do it that way. And that came from years of just imagining and watching other people do things that I was not able to do as yet. But the moment I got the chance to grow and got the resources, it was bam. So you're on the right track, Tori. That's my point. I definitely find what worked in my garden last year. Yeah. And every year to come, it'll be like that. And there are years when we are as new gardeners, we could grow this thing so easy, and 5 years down the line that we could not get it to go. And it sometimes it's just not you. It's time and space, and we don't get to control everything. So I think that's just a big lesson.
Planning for not everything to work out.
Yeah, so definitely plan for things not to work out. I think that's just the nature of growing things and facilitating life, that you can't control it. And I think next up, what are the animals that we're gonna plant? I think we have some beets. We have some beets to plant. What else? Brassicas to plant.
Cauliflower.
Lettuce. What else? The sweet peppers. Well, I don't have to guess. I can just always go look. Next for February.
Show them what you got. Show them what you're working with.
So,
planner.
My monthly planner. And it said for January I should have winter sown. We just did that in February. We haven't done bed prep. We haven't done the sweet potato slips. So for February we're gonna do spring greens, beets, peas, and we're gonna direct sow poppies. Yup. And for March we're gonna do sweet peppers, more peas, tomatoes, carrots, tomatillos, flowers, sorrel. Yeah. And then for April, we'll succession plant some veggies, some spring veggies, and then we'll plant some more greens, succession of greens, and the annual flowers, a bit more kale, and okra. Let me put that here because I have okra for me, but I can plant that at the end of April. So we do have our annual garden plan, monthly garden plan up and running for February. I think we're already on a good path and there's no need to rush. Earlier used to be a very hectic time to plant the garden plant, and then you're trying to just get them all just done and planted, so that you can have your time back. But there's a lot of power in timing, and we want to be on point this year, so we're just holding back so that we can propel further than last year. I'm so happy that I got a chance to chat, to talk about some of the cool stuff that we're doing. It might be cool to us and not to you, but it's gonna be cool to ecosystem either way, so it'll benefit you either way. You're welcome, and I'm welcome as well. We had a good time sewing up the stuff, had a good time talking about garden plan and how we should do it, and we had a great time talking about winter sowing and why we're planting and focusing on these foundation plantings before thinking about food production, as food production is very reliant on the native fauna and the health of them and the abundance of food that they have. And focusing on that just creates a better quality of life for the plants that you may usher in for food production. And that's what we're doing. We're expanding our perennials, we're expanding the native plants, we are expanding our fruit guilds, and we'll definitely benefit from it when we put in those annual plants that need predatory bees and predatory wasps and pollinating bees to do their ecological function. Later this year, they'll be buzzing and doing their work because there's an abundance of nectar, there's abundance of nesting spot, there's abundance of host plants for them to thrive. And so when you see me harvesting those big harvests in summer, remember it starts with the foundation plantings, it starts with the native plants, it starts with the supporting plants for the ecosystem. Facilitating abundance. And just remember, I told you, the native plants and the food forest and the woodland plants, they are critical to our food system. So we're just doing our part to make sure that we facilitate that and that we can continue to have a abundant harvest every year. Stay tuned to the channel, stay tuned to watching how we do it, how we take care of our seedlings from now until spring. And feel free to ask questions, feel free to shouting out Tori earlier, who asked a lot of questions and got clarity, and we got clarity, we got to connect, and that is a beautiful thing. It's beautiful to interact with people online all over the world that are on a similar mission or just supporting the mission or being a active and positive member of society. We appreciate you all.